So that's the open with green, in the green across the board. So 74,157 is where the Sensex has started, and 22,554 is where the Nifty starts this morning. And that basically, by the way, in a way reverses some of the cut that we saw on Friday, that sharp sell-off that we saw. Actually, Friday, right from the word go, from the open, the market continued to drift lower and lower. We're up 70 points. So 22,540 is where now things are settling in. But these are the first few seconds. Bank Nifty is up 140. That's about 1/3%. The mid-cap index is up about 1/3% as well. So that's the market open, all in green. Sonia has got more stock rates. Sonia.
Okay, let's take it straight to Kotak Mahindra Bank, right? Because everyone's eager to see the kind of performance that the stock is seeing, considering that the numbers were so good for Kotak Mahindra Bank. 3.5% higher now, well above that 1600 mark. In case you missed it, very strong quarter. Loan growth of 17.2%. Nomura has upgraded to a buy. CLSA has upgraded to a buy. CLSA actually has a target price of 19.20, which is a big upside to the current market price of Kotak Mahindra Bank. So that really stands out as the big mover this morning. I'm also looking at Avenue Supermarts. There you have it, 2% higher on that stock. Healthy results. Revenue growth of 20%, profit growth of 22.4%. Nothing to not like, and the street likes it as well, up about 2%. JP Morgan, in fact, has upgraded to an overweight. They have raised their target price to 5,400 on Avenue Supermarts, so big upside to the current market price. Let's move across to Titan, because you could see some red over there. Okay, big gash on Titan this morning, 3.5% knockdown. As you can see, earnings miss estimates, profit below expectations, margins hit by higher competition. In fact, Citi has cut their target price to 36.50, which is still above the current market price for Titan, but not looking good at all in trade this morning. Britannia as well has been suffering from slow growth for a while, but the stock is not suffering this morning. It's up almost about 3.5%, but the revenue growth was barely 1.1% for Britannia, so clearly slow growth here. But the stock is up and about. MRPL is the other one. Strong quarter coming in there. Margins actually have almost doubled. 9.2% margins versus 4.8% last quarter. So looking very good for MRPL. Let's move on to M&M Finance, where the asset quality of the company has been pretty stable. And the stock is also quite stable in morning trade, up almost about 1%. Let's wrap it up with a couple of the auto stocks, because this is a big week for auto earnings. Tata Motors, TVS Motor, Hero MotoCorp, Escorts, Bharat Forge will all be reporting their numbers this week. So just some of the stocks, moving, toggling for you this morning. Also, REC, PFC, if we could just get those stocks. In pre-opening, those stocks were down almost about 4 to 5%. And this morning as well, not looking good on the back of the news. So all in all, you'd have to say it is a strong opening. No two ways about that. But it's not really built on to its gains after the initial tick. So let's see how the day goes. Back to you.
Well, that's right. The markets have come off the high point of the day, but that could be a blessing in disguise, because the bulls that want to enter, maybe in fact they're getting that opportunity. So that's about the Nifty. Stocks that are moving around. Godrej Properties, that stock is up close to 5%. JP Morgan, they have upgraded the stock to overweight. They've raised their target price around 3,100 rupees. So that stock's flying away. Jefferies as well has a buy rating with a target price of 3,175. Massive up move on that one, and very, very strong volumes. CDSL, stock is flying away out there. You have a big revenue growth on the top line, I think 90% higher on a year-on-year basis. Margins have expanded to around 61.5%, and the profit number as well has surged. They've given a sweetener as well, final dividend of around 19 rupees, and the one-time dividend as well they're talking about. So in total, it's 22 rupees of dividend. The street likes that. Stock is up and about. Anup Engineering, that's another stock that's opened up, gap up. I think it's reacting to its numbers. So that one as well doing quite well. Normally volume's not very, very high on Anup Engineering, but that one's coming on the list. It's now up 15%. Massive move is what we're seeing out there. Birla Corp as well. Well, for the past quarter, if you see a cement company giving margin expansion on a sequential basis, you like it. Explains why that stock as well is higher in today's trading session with a gain of closer around 5%. A few more volume buzzers. GMR Palm. Stock moves from strength to strength. That's up closer around 5%. I think it's locked in upper circuit, so keep an eye out on that one. Piramal Pharma saw very, very high volumes in Friday's trading session. Well, that continues yet again. So it's one of the top volume gainers, up 2%. And Peninsula Land, not a stock we talk about very often, but that one as well is bucking the trend. Nava Limited, that's a stock that I had highlighted earlier today. It's a delivery-based buying in Friday's trading session. Today, it's making a fresh 52-week high, that 539 rupees that we were talking about, which is the high they made a couple of months ago. Big delivery, big up move in the first few minutes as well. So the trend continues out there.
Well, the thing, I mean, the Nifty is okay. It's up about 45 odd points or so, but we're up about 0.25%. So it's not a big blowout kind of a start. It's a okayish kind of a start right now. Deepak Nitrite is up 6%, 6.5%. And that, I think, is a stock of the day. Nimesh highlighted the double upgrade from Morgan Stanley. It's a slightly long, sort of forward-looking kind of a report. It's not just, if you read it, it's not just about the next 1 year. They're talking about how this could be a pretty potent combination. The fact that Deepak has put in a fair bit of investments. And, all of this is also culminating at a point where people are now starting to wonder whether this entire chemical cycle is bottoming. So that's the trigger there. So there's a big move coming through. I'll highlight more names. Sterling Solar Wilson is up 4%. RBL is up right now. Actually, PSU banks on the downside is something I was sort of wondering in the morning. They're all lower, and I think this is on account of this RBI rules, the draft guidelines. SBI is down 2.5%, PNB is down 3%, Bank of Baroda is down 3%. So in the pre-open, none of them were starting lower, but right now they're all turned down. Canara Bank is down 3%. So a whole list of PSU bank names. Bank of India is down 2%, and so on and so forth. So on the downside, I think these draft guidelines from the RBI are what taking a bit of a toll, taking a bit of a bite out of the overall kind of picture out there.